In this video, we will discover the 7 things you absolutely should not do on New Year's Eve if you want to live a happy new year, full of serenity and prosperity. So, stay until the end because the 7th is the one that, together with the others, can really make the difference. And before continuing, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Also, remember to click on the link in the first comment. The chilly winter breeze whispered through the pines, carrying with it the faint scent of incense wafting from the lonely monastery nestled atop the mountain. The monk, whom everyone affectionately called Old Master, sat in the main hall, his legs crossed in the lotus position, his serene eyes closed in quiet contemplation. His presence exuded a sense of peace that seemed to permeate the entire environment, a beacon of tranquility in the midst of a turbulent world. As the sun was setting on the last day of the year, a group of pilgrims, tired and fatigued from the journey, arrived at the monastery. They had come from all over the country, driven by the desire to receive the wisdom of the old master and to find comfort in his words, especially as the new year approached. They were all seeking guidance on how to live a year full of peace, joy, and spiritual fulfillment. The old master welcomed them with open arms, his kind face lit by a warm smile. He offered them food and shelter, and after they had settled in, he gathered them around the crackling fire in the main hall. The flickering light of the flames cast long, dancing shadows on the walls, creating an atmosphere of mystery and intrigue. "Welcome, weary travelers," the old master began, his voice deep and resonant like a distant bell. "You have come to this humble refuge seeking guidance, seeking answers to the questions that burn in your hearts. As we approach a new year, it is natural to reflect on the past and lay the foundation for the future. It is a time of renewal, of transformation, an opportunity to begin a new chapter in our lives." One of the pilgrims, an anxious and restless young man, stepped forward. "Wise master," he said, his voice heavy with urgency, "we have come here seeking your wisdom. We have heard that you hold the key to a life of happiness and peace. Please share your teachings with us and guide us on the path of right living." The old master nodded, his eyes filled with compassion. The path to inner peace and fulfillment is not always easy. It requires diligence, self-awareness, and a deep understanding of our true nature. To guide you on this journey, I will share with you 7 things you absolutely must not do on New Year's Eve, 7 practices that can help you cultivate inner peace, harmony, and wisdom in your lives. Don't dwell on the past or worry too much about the future. The first practice, the old master began, is not to dwell on the past or worry too much about the future. The past is finished and the future is uncertain. The only moment we truly have is the present. We often get lost in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future, forgetting to live and appreciate the beauty of the present moment. A middle-aged pilgrim, his face marked with wrinkles and the marks of hardship, spoke. "But wise master, how can we forget the pains and regrets of the past? They haunt us like shadows that refuse to fade." The old master smiled with understanding. "The past, my dear friend, is like a flowing river. It cannot be changed. Yes, there may have been hardship and pain. There has also been joy and happiness. We must not let the bad times overshadow the good times. We need to learn from our past experiences, both good and bad, and then let them go. Holding on to the past is like carrying a heavy burden on our backs. It weighs us down and prevents us from moving forward. In the same way, continued the old master, it is useless to worry too much about the future. The future is like an unplanted seed. We do not know what will grow. We can plan for the future, yes, but we must not become too attached to our plans. We must be flexible and adaptable, like a willow that bends in the wind. We must learn to trust the course of life and have faith that everything will work out for the best, even if it is not as we imagined. To cultivate present moment awareness, we need to train our mind to focus on the here and now. We can do this through practices such as meditation and mindfulness. Meditation helps us calm the mind and cultivate inner peace. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It is being fully present in everything we do, whether it is eating, walking, working, or interacting with others. Don't cling to attachments. The second practice, the old master continued, is not to cling to attachments. Attachment is the root of all suffering. We cling to things, people, ideas, believing that they will bring us happiness and fulfillment. But the truth is that lasting happiness and peace cannot be found outside ourselves. They come from within. When we attach ourselves to external things, we become dependent on them for our happiness. We give them the power to control our emotions and our well-being. We become like puppets, our strings pulled by our desires and cravings. A young woman, her eyes glowing with a fiery intensity, spoke, "But wise master, how can we live in this world without attachment? We are surrounded by beautiful and desirable things. It is natural to desire them, to seek to possess them." The old master nodded, his eyes full of understanding. "I'm not saying we should give up all material things or avoid forming relationships. It's natural to appreciate beauty and enjoy the company of others. The problem arises when we become attached to these things, when we believe we can't be happy without them. Attachment is different from enjoyment. Enjoyment is a state of appreciating the present moment without the need to cling or possess. It is like enjoying the beauty of a flower without picking it, or admiring a sunset without trying to capture it. Attachment, on the other hand, is a state of longing, of craving, of needing something outside of ourselves to make us feel complete. To overcome attachment, we must cultivate detachment. Detachment is not indifference or apathy. It is a state of inner freedom, a state of non-attachment to the results of our actions. It is the ability to enjoy the things of life without being enslaved by them. It is being able to love without possessing, to give without expecting anything in return, to live life fully without fear of loss or change. Do not indulge in harmful thoughts and words. The third practice, said the old master, is not to indulge in harmful thoughts and words. Our words and thoughts are powerful forces that can create or destroy. They can inspire or discourage, heal or hurt. We must be aware of the power of our words and thoughts and use them wisely. Harmful thoughts are like poisonous seeds. If we plant them in our minds, they will grow and bear bitter fruit. They will lead to negative emotions such as anger, hatred, resentment, and fear. They will cloud our minds and prevent us from seeing the goodness and beauty that surrounds us. A young man with a furrowed brow and a troubled expression spoke. "But wise master, how can we control our thoughts? They seem to arise spontaneously, without our control." The old master smiled kindly. "Our thoughts, my dear friend, are like clouds passing across the sky. They come and go. We don't have to identify with them. We can observe our thoughts without judgment, without being caught up in them. We can choose to focus on the positive, helpful thoughts and let go of the negative, harmful ones. Likewise, we must be mindful of our words. Harmful words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. They can hurt deeply and leave lasting scars. We must speak with kindness, compassion, and truth. Our words must be uplifting and encouraging, not harmful and destructive. Don't let yourself be fooled. The fourth practice, the old master continued, is not to be caught up in illusions. We live in a world of illusions, a world of appearances. We often mistake these appearances for reality, and this leads to disappointment and suffering. The world as we perceive it is like a mirage, a distortion of reality created by our senses and our conditioned minds. We are deceived by our senses, which give us an incomplete and imprecise view of the world. We are also fooled by our minds, which interpret sensory information based on our past experiences, our biases, and our beliefs. An old woman with silver hair and eyes that shone with wisdom spoke, "But wise master, if the world as we know it is an illusion, what is the true nature of reality?" The old master nodded, his eyes filled with deep understanding. The true nature of reality, my dear friend, is beyond our comprehension. It is beyond words and concepts. It can only be experienced directly through intuition and meditation. It is a state of pure consciousness, of pure awareness, of pure bliss. It is a state of oneness in which all distinctions and separations dissolve. To penetrate the veil of illusion, we must cultivate wisdom and understanding. We must question our perceptions, our beliefs, and our assumptions. We must see the world with new eyes, free from the conditioning of the past. We must realize that we and all other living beings are interconnected, that we are all part of the same whole. Don't waste time on meaningless activities. The fifth practice, said the old master, is not to waste time on meaningless activities. Time is our most precious possession. It is limited and the one thing we can never get back. We must use our time wisely on activities that are meaningful and useful, activities that bring us joy, fulfillment, and growth. Many people waste their time in activities that are devoid of meaning and purpose. They spend hours in idle gossip, complaining, engaging in immoderate consumption or meaningless entertainment. They do not realize that time is passing and will never return. A young businessman, dressed in an expensive suit and with an air of importance, spoke up. "But wise master, we must work hard to succeed in life. We must earn money to provide for ourselves and our families. We cannot spend all our time in boring activities." The old master smiled sympathetically. "I'm not saying we should avoid work or responsibility. Work can be a source of fulfillment and purpose if we approach it with awareness and the right attitude. The problem arises when we become obsessed with work, when we lose sight of what really matters in life. True success is not measured by the amount of money we earn or the power we wield. It is measured by the amount of love, kindness, and compassion we share with others. It is measured by the positive contribution we make to the world. It is measured by our inner peace and happiness. Do not cultivate hatred or resentment. The sixth practice, the old master continued, is not to cultivate hatred or resentment. Hatred and resentment are like poisons that corrode us from within. They destroy our inner peace and happiness and damage our relationships with others. When we hate someone, we give them power over us. We allow them to control our emotions and our thoughts. We become slaves to our own hatred. Resentment is like carrying a burning coal in our hand. It hurts us more than the person we are angry at. A middle-aged woman, her face full of bitterness and resentment, spoke, "But wise master, how can we not hate those who have hurt us, who have betrayed us, who have caused us pain?" The old master nodded, his eyes filled with compassion. Forgiveness is not easy, my dear friend. It requires great effort and deep understanding, but it is essential to our own inner peace and well-being. Forgiveness does not mean condoning the actions of those who have hurt us. It means freeing ourselves from the grip of hatred and resentment. It means choosing to move forward, to no longer let the past hold us back. When we forgive, we are not doing a favor to the person who hurt us. We are doing it for ourselves. We are freeing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. We are opening ourselves to the possibility of love, compassion, and understanding. Don't neglect your spiritual growth. The seventh and final practice, said the old master, is not to neglect your spiritual growth. We are spiritual beings having the human experience. We have within us a divine essence, a spark of the divine. It is our duty to cultivate this essence, to develop our spiritual potential and realize our true nature. Spiritual growth is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the path to inner peace, happiness, and fulfillment. It is the path to understanding our true purpose in life. It is the path to connecting with something greater than ourselves. A young scholar with glasses and an air of intellectual curiosity spoke. But wise master, how can we grow spiritually? What are the practices that can help us on this path? The old master smiled, his eyes shining with wisdom. There are many paths to spiritual growth, my dear friend. The most important practices are meditation, mindfulness, prayer, contemplation, and service to others. These practices help us calm the mind, cultivate inner peace, develop compassion and understanding, and connect with our inner self. Meditation is the practice of focusing the mind on a single object, thought, or activity to achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm state. It is a powerful tool for cultivating inner peace, clarity, and understanding. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It is being fully present in everything we do, whether it is eating, walking, working, or interacting with others. Prayer is a form of communication with the divine. It is a way to express our gratitude, to ask for guidance, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. Contemplation is the practice of thinking deeply about spiritual matters, meditating on the meaning of life and the nature of reality. Service to others is an act of altruism, of giving to others without expecting anything in return. It is a way of expressing our love and compassion for all living things. As the end of the year approaches, said the old master, I invite you to reflect on these 7 practices. Incorporate them into your life, and they will bring you a year filled with peace, joy, and fulfillment. Remember, true happiness and peace are not found in external things or circumstances. They are within you. They are your birthright. Claim them and live a life full of meaning and purpose. The pilgrims listened with the utmost attention, their hearts filled with gratitude and inspiration. The old master's words had struck a chord deep within them, awakening something in them that had long lain